Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool Fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man, Sai. Today, we're going to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've watched Trent since he was in the youth squad and making his way into the Liverpool first team lineup, Jurgen Klopp giving him his debut, all the way to the man that he's become now, an essential vice captain for Liverpool FC. But let me put in context my feelings on Trent Alexander-Arnold and Van Dijk and Mo Salah in the most concise way that I can think of. I would never want Trent Alexander-Arnold to leave Liverpool. But in comparison, I would never let Virgil van Dijk or Mo Salah leave Liverpool. And there's a distinction there in that we want to keep all three, but you have to choose two of the three. Then for me, it's pretty clear cut. Now, there's a few narratives here from the media, from Real Madrid, from Liverpool, and from the fan side of things as well. So I'm going to give you some cold, hard truths and reveal everything you need to know from a practical, logistical, and business standpoint on whether Trent Alexander-Arnold stays at Liverpool for the foreseeable future or whether he leaves to pastures new on a free transfer to Real Madrid. So let's get into it. So there are a few undeniable truths here. No matter how you want to spin it, Trent Alexander-Arnold loves Liverpool. It was his dream to captain Liverpool. He's a Scouser, born and bred. His whole family are Liverpudlians, true in every sense. But it's also true that Trent Alexander-Arnold is very, very ambitious. And he has actually captained Liverpool, albeit in the absence of Virgil van Dijk because he is vice captain. And it's also true that Real Madrid have made a bid in January, and that can mean quite a few different things. Now, January the 1st, obviously, this date is when people can sign Bosman free transfers officially, put pen to paper on a contract, or begin discussions with other clubs for a free transfer. And we're talking about Van Dijk, Mo Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So why are Real Madrid looking to purchase Trent Alexander-Arnold right now for 20 million? So some people in the media believe that Trent is using this for a PR stunt. Carragher definitely believes this, to say that if Liverpool reject the bid, then Liverpool rejected the opportunity to get some money back from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, that's not how I see it. And the reasoning behind that is Trent Alexander-Arnold could have been and probably is in discussions with Real Madrid, the agents and the camps, and has intimated his position. He is in current contract negotiations with Liverpool FC. As per Melissa Reddy, he has not given his definitive yay or nay in either direction. He is in contract negotiations. It's in his best interest as a player, from his point of view, to play off Liverpool's desire to keep him. Make no mistake, Liverpool definitely do want to keep Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously, within their means, it's actually in Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards' own job description to get Liverpool the best possible deal. They represent Liverpool. They don't represent Trent. If Arne Slot wants to keep Trent Alexander-Arnold, they will do their best. They'll compromise. They'll go as high as they can. There is a finite limit, right, with financial fair play, the budget, what you actually have as income and revenue, for example. I don't know the maths at Liverpool, but it's in their job responsibility to get the best deal for Liverpool whilst maintaining the player if Slot wants to keep him. But once again, Slot will also decide how high he's willing to go for the fact that any surplus or additional money comes out of his wage and transfer budget for next season. So there's that, right? But looking at Real Madrid, with Real Madrid's desperation to get him, Real Madrid have lost Carvajal for the rest of the season. Is it ACL injury? So they have Lucas Vazquez at right back in that position at the moment, with Fede Valverde covering on occasion, but you're limiting his absolutely world-class ability by playing him at right back, even though he is a good right back. And they're wanting one of the best right backs in the world, a world-class right back in Trent Alexander-Arnold, to take the reins up at Real Madrid. Now, he's talked about ambition, okay? He wants to leave a legacy, but there's two kind of legacies. There's a legacy at Liverpool where he is honoured as the heartbeat of the team, Scouser, born and bred, one-man club, right up there with Sir Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush, Robbie Fowler, Steven Gerrard, Mo Salah. There, I said it right. Mo Salah is actually in that equation for what he's contributed to the club. However, that legacy is tarnished if he moves to Real Madrid on a free, and there's a few different points I'd like to make here, right? So Carragher mentioned, do you want to be known as a Steven Gerrard in the future or Steve McManaman? Steve McManaman wasn't in the title-winning team. He went to Real Madrid and won everything. This Liverpool team is in the best moment at the moment, under the shiny one. Hopefully winning it all, a quadruple, is on the cards. Even though we may not get there, we might fall at the final hurdle. At least one or two trophies, you would hope, come in the bag. We're in a successful era at the moment, a great transition from Jurgen Klopp, who predicted this successful era. This is the shiny era, the era of Arne Slot, and Trent could play a big part of it. Arne Slot has limited his role to that of a right-sided right fullback, on occasion displaying his world-class passing range and ability. But Mo Salah, let's be honest, is the main man in this team with the assist, with the goals, and everything goes through Mo Salah to make the most of his God-given ability and his best in the world, best in class form at the moment to win Liverpool games, and which is why we're top of the league and top of the Champions League. So it's very interesting that Real Madrid want to bid for Trent Alexander-Arnold. They want him now, but this also intimates a bit of fear that he hasn't fully committed to the Real Madrid move, because if they know they got him in the bag right now, unless they're thinking that with Trent Alexander-Arnold in their team they could win it all or win more this season, and they're still in the running for La Liga, for example, but it'd be a big coup for the Champions League aspirations, for example, while weakening a direct rival, because Liverpool are probably favourites thereabouts for the Champions League. Then Real Madrid are making the play for him right now, and they're actually due to come back with a second bid, which is even more telling for the fact that maybe they're really not confident. So they want to get Liverpool to play ball by saying, okay, with our blessing, you can go so we can get some cash and remuneration. But football is about glory. Football is about winning things, and Liverpool exists to win things, as said by Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley, and the late, great, current Arne Slot. Liverpool exists to win, and we should always be there and thereabouts. 20 million, 30 million, even 40, dare say 50 million is nothing in comparison to a Premier League guaranteed in the bag and a potential Champions League where we are one of the favourites as well. So Trent Alexander-Arnold will also not want to destabilise our position, our form, and our mentality, our winning mentality, our monster mentality by leaving partway through the season, because it leaves some question marks. He is the first choice, first team right back on merit, and he deserves to be because he's won everything. Now that's another point that fans want to point at in terms of calling him a legend. He's won the Premier League after 30 years of hurt. He's won the Champions League. He's won everything from the right back position, breaking through into the team, never leaving the team, and from the right back position, reinventing it, making it his own. He deserves to be a legend. And to right, he is a legend in terms of achievements. However, legacy is something different. There is a modern day bias, a recency bias, but also the way he will leave will have a huge impact. Regardless whether you like it or not, it's the God honest truth. It will have a huge impact in how he's remembered. The boyhood Scouser whose dream was to captain Liverpool FC to win it all in the greatest moment of Liverpool's triumph under the new manager Arne Slot leaves on a free to a team that Liverpool fans absolutely detest at the moment because of Sergio Ramos cleaning out Mo Salah, Karius. Dirty Real Madrid. They are so entitled. They're collecting the Galacticos again. They think they have free reign on everyone. They're playing the media tricks to destabilize Trent Alexander-Arnold and this Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold bromance. Also, it seems because Trent will also have lots of friends in Liverpool that he'd be leaving behind as well, whether it's Mo Salah, Andy Robertson, Szoboszlai, and his local brethren as well, his friends in and around Liverpool that aren't made aware or in the presence of, the public eye, for example. But you can also see Trent Alexander-Arnold kicking his feet up on the beach. Spain is nice in terms of the sun. He's got a supermodel girlfriend, so it seems. He's saying he wants to win the Ballon d'Or, but that can't be a right argument because he would be behind Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe in the pecking order for the Ballon d'Or for eternity, right? Because their careers overlap. It's unfortunate he was born in the same era, and it's very unlikely from the right back position, unless he does something extraordinary, you can't win it from the right back position, even if he's glorious. Now, the counter argument to that is at Liverpool, where he's excelling and exceeding himself and is a game winner on any given day as well, with his passing through the lines, the assist before the assist, or the actual assist itself. He would still be behind Mo Salah and Van Dijk in the Ballon d'Or. So exclude that thing, even though Real Madrid claims that Real Madrid hoard all the Ballon d'Ors and awards, and it might be true because of biased or backhanders or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care about the individual awards. I care about Liverpool winning things, not individuals winning things, because team is above everything. And I'm a Liverpool FC fan, as are you guys. Thank you so much, by the way. Liverpool Fan in Japan community, you guys are the best. So let me know in comments below if you agree with everything I'm going to say in this video. So let's carry on. So yes, Liverpool are flying, absolutely flying at the moment. And unfortunate injury to Joe Gomez. Otherwise, we would have had a fully fit squad, right, with Konate and Bradley coming back. Have you noticed the change in tone from, would-be pretenders to the throne to now that we're absolutely the dominant force? The media and rivals are trying to pick holes. Trent's leaving. Ooh, Salah, who knows? He might leave. Saudi Arabia's office still there. Van Dijk, that kind of thing as well. They're trying to destabilize Liverpool. This is always the case in the UK media, right? And in the rival fan base. And the worms are creeping to Liverpool fan base as well. They're trying to destabilize a beautiful thing where we have momentum, form, impetus, passion, desire, and motivation, and firepower. We have a beautiful thing going here, and everyone is trying their best to crack, chip away at that solid foundation to put a chink in the armor of Liverpool's impenetrable defense and immaculate firepower to try to destabilize us and make us drop points. But it ain't going to happen because Arne Slot is so cream of the crop. Substance in abundance. This channel and our coach and Macho Man.
The cream of the crop!
It's going to prove impossible. We call it muri in Japanese. Impossible to derail us because we have the leadership experience. And when people talk about Manchester City, when they're ahead, they're going a 14-game winning run or whatever, don't they realize that Liverpool can do the same? Because we have title winners. Van Dijk has won everything. Alisson's won everything. Going back to Trent has won everything. But then you look at legacy and you look how he's going to be reflected and remembered, right? He really does fall in line to the McManaman tier. Even Kevin Keegan, the hero, the local hero, left. His legacy at Hamburg, Ballon d'Or, he's not as fondly remembered as some of the greats of the past, like Ian Rush, for example, like Kenny Dalglish, for example. And then you look at Trent as the greatest right back. Some fans are saying the greatest right back in Liverpool history. Well, those who remember Emlyn Hughes or Phil Neal, even Alan Kennedy, in both fullback positions, even Steve Nicol, they achieved many a title, multiple titles, consistency. And for those of the age, they are held in well high esteem as well. It would be hard to put Trent in that category if he leaves on a free for the fact that Liverpool are not getting market value for a player going into his prime or in his prime at the moment, abandoning your boyhood club. So many other players sign new contract for, like Alexis McAllister, for example, Jack Grealish, for example, with a release clause whereby we will give you the opportunity to stay at the club. If someone wants to pay it out, then, with our blessings, you go. Trent can't use Real Madrid's bids in January as a reasoning to say that, look, Liverpool, you could have recouped something back from me, because of the fact that in this current situation where we're in it to win it all, there's no way that I don't think he will want to leave, and he will put in PR, because no fan is stupid. He's not going to spin it any way to make the reflected glory better on himself. If he leaves, his legacy gets absolutely tarnished in an unfortunate way, because no matter how great he is, you've got to remember that he's also tied in with some huge negativity. Now, how recent do you remember Trent Alexander-Arnold getting bashed for he lost the ball, he's not chasing back, his body language is horrendous, he can't defend according to the media? Never by me. He's an all right defender, he's a good defender, he's not the greatest defender, but he does the right things, shuffling them into an area of containment or away from the goal, for example. But also, we have built the system to accommodate Trent Alexander-Arnold. Konate sacrificing himself to go out wide, Henderson underlapping, Szoboszlai underlapping, Joe Gomez covering. Everyone has played their part in Trent Alexander-Arnold's success. And maybe Real Madrid need to do the same with Camavinga or Tchouameni or Valverde, for example, right? But he hasn't done it on his own. His flaws and weaknesses are clear to see alongside his world-class strengths and his amazing techers and balls. I mean, look at this. Look at who else can do this kind of ball. That is disgusting, right? Look at that God-given ability. But it's not the only ability on the pitch. I mean, the Magic Magais, the Hungary team, right? Catenaccio, the famous German teams as well, the great Milan teams, the great Real Madrid teams, the great Brazilian teams. None of them have ever had a Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool teams of old, the greatest Liverpool teams of all time, have never had a Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a special, unique talent that needs a system built for him. He's a one and done. Never before has anyone had that array of ability at right back and dominated the game from his position, whilst also posing a clear weakness and a place for the opposition to target, not because he's a weak player, but because he vacates his position and it's hard for the players to cover him when he goes so advanced as well. So Arne Slot has put him in a position which solidifies his defensive attributes, makes us more solid defensively as a team, and on occasion when we need him, utilizes his offense as well. And he's sung the praises of Arne Slot in terms of a man manager, a coach, his tactics, the wisdom he's imparting on young Trent as well as the rest of the team. So he's a big fan of Liverpool, big fan of Arne Slot, but the temptation of Real Madrid, multiple time Champions League winners, and trying something new is there. The biggest giveaway whether he'd be interested in joining Real Madrid is if anyone happens to hear him speaking Spanish or learning Spanish lessons. Spanish teacher, if you're out there, leak to the press. And if not, if it doesn't exist, then what can you say? Jude Bellingham obviously could help him acclimatise and adjust to sunny Spain, to Madrid as well, but he's there. But you've got to realise as well that the English players, the foreign players from the UK, from the Premier League, best league in the world, going to Real Madrid, aren't held in the same high esteem as, let's say, a Brazilian or Portuguese or a Spanish player. Sometimes they do drop off in terms of being the media darling, and they do get criticised as well. So you better hope that his long balls and his techers work out well, because as you saw in the summer, he's definitely not good enough to be a midfielder. He is a out-and-out right back, and the system has to suit his style as well. Speaking of which, under the England setup, he is a generational world-class talent, but the England lineup couldn't find a way to accommodate Trent Alexander-Arnold. As I mentioned, he's a specialist player that can do special things, but the system has to suit him. Here's a line for you. Liverpool, with Trent Alexander-Arnold next season, are title favourites and probably favourites to win it all. Liverpool, without Trent Alexander-Arnold, are title favourites and probably favourites to win it all. We've got an amazing, amazing, amazing team at the moment. Now, before, when you looked at the spine of the Liverpool team, the great Liverpool team of Jurgen Klopp, Alisson Becker, world's best goalkeeper, Virgil van Dijk, world's best centre-half, and them two are still respective best in their position as well, right? Then you go into the midfield, you go through your Fabinhos, your Hendersons, your Ronaldos, but they weren't the bedrock. You're talking about Alisson Becker, Virgil van Dijk, Bobby Firmino, Mo Salah, and Sadio Mane. That was the core of the title-winning team. You don't put Robertson there, you don't put Alexander-Arnold there. They were facilitators with a specific role to help win. But the nucleus and the core, and if you take the key players, it's always been Alisson Becker, the transformative signing, Virgil van Dijk, the transformative signing, and the front three to win it all. Even now, when you look up and down the squad, Alisson Becker, Virgil van Dijk, you could put Konate there on current ability and form if he wasn't so injury prone, but Gravenberch has gone from nowhere into an essential cog in the Arne Slot system. You can't just say it's on form or it's this season. He is absolutely essential and epitomizes slot ball for what he can do. And like Trent Alexander-Arnold, there is no natural replacement for Gravenberch. I don't care who you want to pluck out of the sky. Rodri does not do what Gravenberch does. Valverde does not do what Gravenberch does. Neither does Chouameni. He is a special, special talent that Arne Slot has honed, that Klopp identified and brought in as well. He is part of the core now. And then you go up top and in front. Who is essential? Mo Salah. And that's probably your core there. Gravenberch, Alisson, Van Dijk, and Mo Salah. And beyond that, the thing that makes the system work, underappreciated, overwhelmingly talented, Alexis McAllister is a key component in making the system work, as is Dominic Szoboszlai as well, even though in the past few months people have been criticising him. But I will do a dedicated video on why he's reinvented that 10 role and what he's actually achieving and what he's actually doing, because he plays four positions in one, starting from the 10 position, right? Absolutely essential. Then you look at players like Gakpo, Lucho Diaz, Jota. All of these players have a part to play in the amazing, immense firepower that we have this season, which is massively contributing to our title challenging, hopefully winning season, because our defense has always been solid. Then you have the peripheral players who make up the function, but the core is still the same. It's Alisson, Van Dijk, Mo Salah at least. Probably Gravenberch, probably McAllister. And therefore, a team without Trent Alexander-Arnold can still succeed, because you can't tell me that there's only one way for this Liverpool team, for any team, to win glory, and that's with Trent Alexander-Arnold's exquisite through balls and deliveries from out wide and crossing abilities and vision, because the system has to allow for that to thrive. And as I mentioned in previous videos, he's got a big arc of operation. He can't operate in tight spaces. He has to have the space to be able to move into to hit his exquisite balls as well. And as you can see on my shirt, I'm a big Trent Alexander-Arnold fan, and I do not want him to leave. I never want him to leave. But you cannot let Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk leave, because of the fact that Van Dijk lifts the potential of every player around him and the potential for Liverpool to win trophies. He's the captain, he's the leader. And that's another thing I want to say as well. Trent being vice captain, everyone's saying, look, when Van Dijk hangs up his boots or relinquishes his captaincy, Trent is the next captain. Can I ask you honestly, does Trent look like a Liverpool captain, right? He kind of fits the Gerrard mold in that he'll lead by example, playing with his heart in his chest. But his body language isn't the best as a captain. His verbal communication, his media skills aren't the best as a captain. And he doesn't have the aura of a Van Dijk. When Henderson squared up to Diego Costa and he backed off, the way he talks and the mannerisms, right? Posh boy, pretty boy, well-spoken, but always heart and sleeve for the club, running till he can run no more, absolutely giving his legs for the cause, the engine, the heartbeat of that team, Henderson, massively underappreciated. He looked like a captain to me. Jamie Redknapp didn't look like a Liverpool captain. Robbie Fowler is a captain that leads by example as well. Steven Gerrard is a captain that leads by example as well. But the aura of Van Dijk and the aura of Alisson Becker, for example, and I would even say a McAllister and a Soboslai, right? They emit a slightly different aura. I still feel he's the wonder kid, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know he's not a kid anymore, but he doesn't feel like the man with the plan at the front to lead the charge, if you know what I mean. He is like the diamond in your crown, but he's not the crown itself. He is not the one that wears the armband, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You may think otherwise, but Carragher looked like a captain to me. He had the aura and the communication. Van Dijk, same. Sami Hyypiä wasn't the most vocal, but he had the aura. He did definitely, for me, had the aura as well as a captain, right? Even Gary McAllister had the aura as well, in my opinion. So that's just my take on leadership. But something else I want to come back to is that Trent Alexander-Arnold, apparently when he signed his last contract, he was offered a 6-year deal by Liverpool and he turned it down. He said he would not accept, and I take this by sources by the way, he would not accept more than a 4-year deal, which is how we got him to renew. And this was strategically planned so that at this point in time, at this age where he'd enter his prime, he'd have options on the table. You can't put words into his mouth to say that he always was planning to leave on a free and potentially to Real Madrid, and he knew that his ability and his upward career trajectory would get him that big move. He gambled on himself. He signed a contract. Liverpool were happy with it. He was happy with it. And now he's got the choice to make. Everyone who wants to barge onto FSG and say, why didn't you renew him before? Klopp's leaving puts a dent in works because everyone needs to see how the new manager performs. Like, you can't commit the best years of your career when you're a world-class of that caliber player to one club, not knowing the future trajectory of your club and of how good Arne Slot is and how good the Liverpool team would be. But now it's been confirmed, it's a different story. But when Jurgen Klopp's leaving, you can't renew at that point. And before that, if you knew Jurgen Klopp was leaving, you can't get them to commit because literally you've kind of sold them a white lie. Slightly unethical, good businessman-like, but you got to give credit, slight credit there to FSG. You can't deceive people. It's not right and it's not fair. And it probably makes him want to leave even more. Imagine if we were going downhill after Klopp announced his departure. So, professionalism, he's always played his heart out. He's giving everything and he wants to win. Don't ever forget that he loves Liverpool. He sincerely loves Liverpool. But he doesn't owe Liverpool, okay? If you sign a contract, if you see out your contract, that is fair dues and fair game. You've signed a contract for 4 years and you've given your all and won everything in those 4 years. Fair dues, fair plays, you have committed and gone to the end of your contract. Same as Alisson Becker, in his words, he wants to at least see out the rest of his contract. Emre Can did the same as well, seeing out your contract and leaving with blessings. Gets slightly complicated because he is a homegrown talent of that high value. You're talking 60, 70, 80 million, of which would be super useful to reinvest in the squad, leaving for free. So leaves a bitter taste. You can't begrudge him because he's performed in those 4 years and won it all. But at the same time, if he really wanted to do Liverpool a favour, and once again, by no means does he actually need to do Liverpool this favour, he would sign a contract with an acceptable release clause that if no one paid, he would stay. And if someone paid, he'd leave with your blessing as well. But once again, this is the position you're in. Now, FSG also had a decision to make with Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah as well in terms of financial remuneration because of the policy of overage players. But once again, according to Melissa Reddy, Ornstein, everybody, these are special talents, special players. And once again, they raise the caliber, the tempo, the ability the title winning possibilities of Liverpool, you've got to give in, not to their demands, but into general common sense and logic in the way that you compromise to find an agreement. Now, they're saying 2 years. Ornstein is saying 2 years for Van Dijk, 2 years for Salah. And I think that's a fair compromise, because if they earn it at the end of that 2 years, right, where they're going to mid-30s and beyond, then they can sign an additional extension, or there might be a trigger for an additional extension, or they could chase the money in Saudi Arabia or any other club with the blessing that they both want to stay at Liverpool, achieve things with Arne Slot and with Liverpool, and with them two at Liverpool, I'm confident Liverpool will win things for the remainder of their careers at Liverpool. I can emphatically, hand on heart, hand on the live bird on the chest, say that Liverpool will win things if Van Dijk and Salah sign the 2-year deals within that 2-year period, because Arne Slot, he's so good and immaculately well-spoken, tactical genius, and we have the players. You look up and down the spine, right? You may put Trent in the top 5 most important players for this Liverpool team, but I would definitely not put him in the top 5. Okay. Mo Salah, without a doubt, is beyond Trent, as is Salah, as is Alisson, and in my opinion, McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai are very, very important. I would almost put Lucho Diaz and Cody Gakpo for the future and the options at equal footing with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai, Trent, Gakpo, and Lucho Diaz at that even pegging. I would put Konate above Alexander-Arnold because of his potential, his partnership with Van Dijk, his age, and his desire, apparently, to commit and continue with Liverpool. Remember that there were rumours that Lucho Diaz and Konate being offered new contracts, and Conor Bradley is not a downgrade per se from Trent Alexander-Arnold, even though Alexander-Arnold is first choice on merit and by experience and by world-class showings. He's just different, and he needs an opportunity to prove himself and cement his legacy, his own legacy, because he's also an international captain, one more in the bag alongside Wataru Endo, Van Dijk, Szoboszlai, right? Mo Salah. We're a team of captains. Robertson as well. We're well stocked in that apartment. Might get a young left back in January. So once again, it comes down to money and how do you want to be remembered? Do you want a statue at Anfield regarded all time as one of Liverpool's greatest ever players, greatest ever legends, loyal, proud, and won it all? Or do you want to be regarded as a homegrown Scouser with the best passing range in the world, a playmaker from right back, equivalent to Kevin De Bruyne from a defensive position, doing what he does immaculate, world-class ability, clear flaws as well, who left for Real Madrid in his prime, while Liverpool were on an upward trajectory under Arne Slot, start of a new era, with Liverpool getting no transfer fees, and whether he wants to gamble on himself to be a Galactico, to raise his profile in the media, to raise his brand, and to be a success of himself, or whether he fails and falls from Madrid as well, which is a possibility. It's completely his choice and his legacy. He would have seen out his contract, and that's all you can ask because that's all he committed to. And in that situation, he will not get the 300, 350, whatever wage he's demanding at Liverpool. He'll be getting probably an increased wage. However, that wage can go towards Mo Salah, Van Dijk, transfer budget, new signings, infrastructure, because we have the best backroom staff. For everyone who wants to criticize FSG, they done amazing to get Michael Edwards back in here. Richard Hughes, Julian Ward, the dream team. After Schmatke transformed the midfield in a transfer window, alongside Julian Ward to get in McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Wataru Biggie Man Mountain Endo. For the existence of his channel, even for that, big thanks to you, Schmatke and Klopp and Wataru Endo. Drop a like. Make sure you drop a like. Do it right now. Subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of great content coming up. Great things for this year. And for me personally, as long as Trent gives it his all in the remainder of the season, I think we're on course to win at least 2 pieces of silverware, whether it's the Cups, the League, and the Champions League, or all of the above. It would be a tremendous showing for Arne Slot's first season, and we'll give him a lot of credit in the bag and in the bank. Remember, we did not spend heavily in the summer. Chiesa, who can come good in second half of the season, help us in cup runs. I'm keen to see him when he's fit and have a decent run. Mashtavili coming in competition. Kelleher might be leaving. So there we go. There is the situation at the moment. We're having a great season. Don't let the media or any little crumbles disrupt your momentum, disrupt your beating heart in cheering for the Reds. We cheered them on with everything we got. That's what we do here in Liverpool Fan in Japan community. We support Trent to the very end. He's a Scouser. He's one of the heartbeats of the team. Delicious crossing. Great technical ability as well. And when the decision is made, respect it. You don't have to like it, and move on, because this Liverpool team are here to stay, and we will win things with or without Trent Alexander-Arnold. We will love him. We may love him a little less if he leaves. However, it's his life, his choice, and what he makes of his legacy, we will see. The decision is yet to be made. He hasn't decided either way. Gerrard had a change of heart on the Chelsea move. Zubimendi had a change of heart on the Liverpool move. These things happen, and they happen for a reason as well. So if he leaves, he will leave with my best wishes and gratitude for the memories. The best memory being quick corner taken to Origi. Goal, Barcelona, right? However, no player is irreplaceable. And Trent is replaceable because Arne Slot is the coach, and we still have a great, great team. But I don't want him to leave. Let's leave it at that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Onwards and upwards, 2025 is guaranteed to be a great year. The great year of Rush Hour 3, Big E and Special G, Wataru, Man Mountain, Endo. I've got a few more of the last cards to sign off to all the Liverpool fan in Japan, all-star members and above. Thank you so much for supporting the channel through membership as well. It's the best way to support the channel. Anyone who signs up does so with my great, great appreciation, because I can't put into words how much your support means to me. It really means the world to me, to Mai, to Ato, and to Mia as well. Until next time, Miyazaki man, Ichiban means the best. This is a channel of substance and abundance. I've covered everything that I can think of in regards to this transfer. Hope you guys agree. Let me know in the comments below. And once again, we have partnered up with Soccer Atos. My mate is doing great things, great Japan and Liverpool themed kits as well. It's an end of year, end of line sale. He's giving an unprecedented 30% off goods. Partnered with the Miyazaki man, Liverpool fan in Japan. LFC Jap 30 gets you 30% off. Now, he sent me some kits to review, and my goodness, I can already tell. That's Dragon Ball, baby. I got to get this on right now. Oh my goodness. Is that Son Goku? That is Son Goku. Is that Super Saiyan 1, 2, or 3? That looks like Super Saiyan 1 Son Goku. Black and orange. Look at that chest. He is dressed to impress. Wowzers. My goodness. Slim Fit Kupi Slim JFA Japan Football Association. That is the Karasu, the Black Crow. Mighty fine and all mine. Yes, Son Goku, Dragon Ball Z. I remember coming back from UK school, 5 p.m, 5:30 thereabouts, the newest episode of Dragon Ball Z. They're just chatting, and fighting. Kamehameha! Trent, what are you doing, lad? Don't ruin your legacy. Sign on. Renew your contract with Liverpool FC. Here to stay. Come what may. It's your boy, Liverpool fan in Japan. I'm here to stay. Never fear. I'll still be here. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Van Dijk, Salah, Sai. So if you go, Trent, Jane, Matane, peace.
Liverpool fan in Japan.